Good evening everyone. So let's start today's one-liners. So first of all, we are going to understand Terry Eagleton. Terry Eagleton is mainly belonging to the Marxist criticism. Terry Eagleton is best known for his book Literary Theory. This is the most important book written by Terry Eagleton. Literary Theory, subtitle is An Introduction, written in 1983. And then he is writing Illusions of Postmodernism. Terry Eagleton is basically working with postmodernism, and he is doing a comparison between modernism and postmodernism. So this is the writing by Terry Eagleton, Illusions of Postmodernism, written in 1996. Then he is writing Marxism and Literary Criticism. Marxism and Literary Criticism. The Body as Language is one of the most famous books written by Terry Eagleton. The Body as Language. The Body as Language. And then he is writing Myths of Power. Myths of Power. And then The Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper, which is having the subtitle A Memoir. And then The Ideology of Aesthetic. The Ideology of Aesthetic. He is working with the concept of aestheticism. The modern aestheticism. He is working with this concept, and that's why he is writing The Ideology of Aesthetic, 1990. Now let's understand narratology. Narratology is the concept coming from structuralism. Structuralism, where the critics are mainly focusing on the structures of a text. And through understanding the structures, we can understand and we can come out with the meaning of the structure. So narratology is a part of structuralism. Narratology is saying that narratology means the study of narrative structures. The study of narrative structure. Through the structures, we actually build the narratives. Through the structures, we build the narratives, and thus through the structure, we can understand the meaning also. So that is the concept from structuralism. Study of narrative structure. Narratology looks at what narratives have in common and what makes one different from another. So in narratology, people actually analyze that what is the common narrative that is being used in this text, and what is the unique narrative style, or what is the unique narrative structure that is being used in this text. So on the basis of the narrative structures, we basically judge a text, and we basically come out with the meaning. Now narratology is based on the ideas of a common literary language and universal patterns of codes. That is most important. In structuralism, people believe that this language is actually common. There is a common literary language that is being used throughout the whole world, throughout the whole ages. There is a common literary language, and there are some universal patterns that are being followed down the ages by various writers. So the structuralists believe that there is a common literary language, and there are some universal patterns of codes, and through which we actually compose a text, and through which we can understand the meaning of the text. So narratology is based on these ideas. What are those ideas? The ideas of common literary language and universal patterns of codes that operates within the text of a work. So who has coined the term narratology? Narratology is a term coined by Todorov. Important books related narratology. Morphology of Folktales. This is one of the most important books covering the aspects of narratology. Written by whom? Written by Vladimir Propp. And in this, Vladimir Propp is talking about 31 functions of narrative. 31 functions of narrative. And next, Structural Anthropology by Claude Lévi-Strauss. Claude Lévi-Strauss is a French person, and he is actually an anthropologist. So he is writing Structural Anthropology and that is written by Claude Lévi-Strauss in 1958. These years are very important. So Claude Lévi-Strauss was actually an anthropologist. The next writing based on narratology is A.J. Greimer's Structural Semantic by A.J. Greimer. Structural Semantic. And then in this book, Greimer is talking about actants. In this book, Greimer is talking about actants, structural units, and these structural units are called actants. So actants, this is the concept given by Greimer in his book Structural Semantic. So now let's understand what is semantic. So semantic is a kind of interpretation of the literary language, including words, sentences, phrases, symbols. The study of semantic is the study of how language and its different aspects create meaning. So study of semantic means the language and the different aspect of a language is creating meaning. How the language and its different aspects are creating meaning. So in semantic also, people are talking about language and its aspect. And this language and the aspects of it, they are playing the vital role in making a kind of meaning. So this is semantic is an idea coming from structuralism, because here also people are talking about language. People are talking about the various aspects of language like words, sentences, phrases, the structures of any language, and through this structures and through the language we can understand the meaning. This is the concept given by structuralists. So it analyzes how the reader is understanding or making the meaning going through the relationship between words. Structuralists think that the words are having certain relationships, and through these relationships the word meanings are coming out. So structuralists actually analyzes a text based on how the reader is understanding the meaning going through the relationship between these words, because words, the meaning are getting constructed by the relationships between the words. They think that the words are having relationship, but the post-structuralists, they are thinking that the relationship between these words are arbitrary. The relationship is not innate. That relationship is arbitrary. So that is the thinking given by the post-structuralists. And here we can differentiate the structuralists and the post-structuralists. The post-structuralists think that it is not possible to find the true meaning of a text based on systematic structures. The relationship between two words is arbitrary. So हमने आज क्या सीखा कि the relationship जो है between two words, that is not innate, that is arbitrary. So we cannot understand the meaning through the relationship between words. But in structuralism, people say that there is a vital point in relationship between words. Words के बीच जो relationship है, so that is very vital, and through that relationship, or through understanding that relationship, through understanding the words, phrases and different aspects of the language, we can easily understand the text. But this post-structuralists, they are not actually giving so much importance to the language of the text. According to them, that language is not creating any meaning. Why? Because the words, the relationship between words, that is arbitrary, that is not innate, that is not going to play any vital role in creating a meaning. So that's all for today. We are going to meet tomorrow.